Aaron Levy and Yehoshua Hooper, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it because Yehoshua Hooper is on the road. So we will listen to the piece description that he wrote about this, Parshat Behar, and then also we'll take some comments of what do we see in this piece, questions that it elicits, and just reactions more like in a collective sort of way. And this is what he writes. The main source of inspiration for my artwork comes from the Zohar. It reflects the teachings of Rabbi Shimon, who states that at the time of redemption, it will be a precept for the shofar to be blown on the Jubilee. At this time, Bnei Israel will gather and assemble from the four corners of the earth. Each one will fulfill its appointed functions. So in this Parshat of Behar, we hear about the Jubilee year, which is the 50th year of redemption, which calls out to all the people freedom, Juror, right? That's the Hebrew term, that there's going to be this turning over of society, the release of slaves, release of debts, starting from zero in a way. And it comes through the shofar blowing, and it's a call for redemption. And I'm just reading here what we see, the words that are written on top. It says, Ve'asitem et chukotai, and you shall do my laws. Ve'et mishpatai tishmeru ve'asitem otam ve'yashavtem ala haaretz levetach. And my laws you will keep and do them, and you will be able to dwell on the land in security. So that is the proclamation that Yehoshua Hooper decided to emphasize on the top there. And then we also have like a flag post from it looks like it's on some sort of wood, and you have a sheen that has the four strands, which is unusual, but it's on the tefillin, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I'm curious, what are other things that we're seeing, other questions that we may have from this piece? And I have it in a larger form here. Mike.
Hello. This is incredibly gorgeous. It blends to me like such mystical and esoteric vibes, and really makes me think of E.M. Lillian's work in the Art Nouveau age, and even a little Tolkien blended in there. So for me, it has such a epic story nature to it. I love its bilateral symmetry with the border work. And this piece was constructed how? Was it etched or painted or drawn?
It's a good question. We'll have to ask the artist or look on the website to see more in detail. Yeah, but you're absolutely right that it's, I remember from the discussion that there's a symmetry to it, and kind of this longing from the bottom up, bottom, and you have the shofar that's, if you see on the side here at the corners, they're being blown. And it's like from the earth, we're calling up to heaven, and the heaven is also calling down to earth for a day, or for, a new vision of what our lives can look like and be. You're absolutely right that it's drawing on the mystical tradition, and he says so himself, from the Zohar. Lots to unpack here. other reflections, questions that you may have, things that you notice as you look closer. And we can also just look at it and appreciate it.
The Shaddai on a flagpole is us. It's our symbol. It's so beautiful. It's what we believe. It's who we love.
Yeah. It's an interesting, the shin, right? That's made in this way with the four strands. It's found on the tefillin boxes, because of the 4 different compartments that exist within it. And it's right, it's like the shin is the shema or the Shaddai. And I will not speak for the artist, but in my assessment or like interpretation, there's how do we even get to a place of redemption? What are the steps that are taken in the Torah? We have, you wait in the 50 years, right? It's the cycle that we get to experience, the taste of, that's like Shabbat. And then we have shmitta, and then we have Yovel, like these periods where we get to taste what liberation might feel like. And then also with the Shema that you just brought up with the Shaddai, there's protection, there's God's protection, and there's also the Shema of listening, and the importance of getting to a place of redemption by actually listening to the people around us and what are the needs, not to only work in a type of world where we're taking from each other, but we're actually giving where there's extra to give. And the shin is representative of so much, but that could be one angle to look at it.
And if you look at the hands holding the flagpole of the shin, I don't see any, they seem to be drowning in life, with their hands coming up, and that's the world that we live in. We could drown there with all the tourists that's there, but we still carry that Torah, that shin, that we still carry God within us, and no matter where we go and where we land, we can grow on this earth. Mention doing tikkun olam, having opportunities, education. I love our religion, and I love the art that you have shown. Thank you so much.
Thank you for participating.
Sorry to jump back in, but now that I'm now actually realizing that you mentioned that this is connected to Zohar, I mean, I really see the Sefirot, and the hands at the bottom really could be Shekhinah, right, as the way that the divine interfaces with the earth. And gosh, so much has just unfolded for me in here. And the stars, I mean, they remind me of the holy sparks from the Sim Sum. I mean, I would love to. I have a million questions.
Now that is what Torah art does. I love that reaction, because for all of us who have been able to witness the creation of these pieces, participate in the creation of them, the rabbis who got to work with the artists that got to work with the rabbis, this is what the entire project was about. To be able to connect to Torah in many different ways, and for people to access it. And, at this point, Devere is going to be speaking soon. We're going to go back into the room to hear him wrap up, but we're starting a new cycle right now of reading the Torah. And I think from this whole year of getting to encounter Torah in new ways through artwork, it enlivens the experience so much. And just as Torah needs the art, as Esty was showing us, you know, the art is also drawing from the Torah to make it relevant for us today. So thank you all for joining for this entire session, and we'll go back into the main room to hear the final words. And yeah, it's been wonderful to be with all of you this evening. All right.
And thank you.
Perfect.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.